Hey guys, so did you know that the average life expectancy for the family scapegoat is 39? You know that's not going to fly on my watch. And from one family scapegoat to the other, I just want to say that they would not have targeted you if you did not have a brilliant light, if you didn't have some special gift. And because of the fact that you have had to live your entire life not only without support, but with the family demons trying to tear you down at every turn, acting directly through your family members, the ones who are more spiritually susceptible, you have made it. And if you can make it past this age 39, to be honest, I almost didn't. I really almost didn't. That was the age where I came very, I had a plan and I had stuff and I had bought things and etc. And, if I had done that, I wouldn't have discovered the abilities that I had in this life, the wonderful experiences. And, it may take you a while, and what else? As you may feel like you're behind in life, but because of everything you've been through, I assure you that you are doing much better than you think, regardless of how things might look in the 3D reality. So you're going to be a late bloomer, probably like myself. I'm in my early 40s. And my looks are glowing up, my emotional reality, my self-support, my confidence, my finances, everything is increasing and becoming exponentially better than I ever would have imagined. And that can happen for you. So I've got 3 things I want you to consider today, okay? Let's get going. Okay, so some of you may have seen that video I made about my brother's video, and I took it down. I did. I don't regret making it. Like all of the things that have happened in my life, I don't regret them. There's always something that can be learned, and I learned so much from that video. It's shocking. Actually, what happened was, as I was editing this video, like some bad feelings started to come up, okay? And that's normal when I think about or talk about my family, unfortunately. And then at one specific point, I noticed very clearly and obviously this heavy, it was brown, it was oogly, it was smelly like smoke and BO, and it was gross, and it was starting to descend down upon me, and I was like, oh my God, that is an entity. And I realized that there are some entities that run in bloodlines and feed off of this nonsense. They feed off of child abuse, neglect, addiction. I want to say estrangement, but in many cases it's completely necessary. And so I wanted people to be aware of that. I've become really, really psychic. I've always been psychic my whole life. I've had many experiences. I was the one who my mother came to, and she was in a coma, and she tried to come to me again after she passed, and I was like, nope, I'm not entertaining this. And that was that. But why is this guy coming over here? Hold on. Gotta pay attention. Yeah. Anyway, there's a really good book by Frederick Dodson. It's called Clearing Entities. Okay? Read this book. Or, contact me if you want help. Because I swear, once I became very aware of that entity, I was like, holy shit. And what it does is it can feed you thoughts. It can get you stuck in a mindset. And once it came to me so clear that I could almost feel it, I was like, I have been stuck under this for a long time, man. And I just got so emotional. I'm like, my brother is still stuck in this. Members of my family are still stuck in this. And in this realm and reality, people try to tell you like the solution is to forgive and to this and that and blah, blah, blah. Like, I mean, okay, yeah, but there also is a very deeply serious spiritual element to this that needs to be addressed. And once you decide to stop feeding these entities, and once you tell them to go and not to bother you and to leave your family bloodline, you will feel instant relief. And the thing is, you have to do it sometimes multiple times. Sometimes they try to, mess with you, but you can't be afraid. Here in Mexico, people celebrate, worship, and invite the spirits of the dead into their home in October. And here I was thinking I could come here being as psychic as I am. I'm like, oh, it won't affect me. Like, I experienced the most intense hauntings I've ever seen in my life. And so I think, I don't think this is a country for someone as psychic and sensitive as me, or maybe this was a calling for me to learn my spiritual gifts better. I don't know. The next thing I want you to know is that you probably already know this, but you are not the labels that your family put on you. Whatever your family said about you is actually what they are. I know it sounds immature. And, I'm not telling you this for you to go and tell them, hey guys, it's not me, it's you. Like, no, if you have a family like this, it's probably, in my opinion, you guys know it's my opinion, you got to cut them off completely. You got to let go of any hope. And learn to place your hope and faith in God and in yourself. And sometimes there's sections of this road that can be very long and you're going to have to walk them alone. Anyway, so do you know where this name scapegoat comes from? I'm walking too fast. I got alpha GPC and coffee this morning, so I'm feeling great. I'm flying high and walking fast. Anyway, scapegoat was an ancient ritual whereby if a family or somebody in the family, look, and here come the hounds of hell. Typical. If somebody in the family had committed a sin, the priest would go and select a goat or a sheep, and they would cast the sins of the family or the person in that family onto the sheep. So if they had a thief in the family, if they had a murderer in the family and they wanted to be absolved of their sins, they would write murderer onto the sheep. Now the sheep is carrying the sins of the family. And then they would send the sheep out into the wilderness to die by itself. Kind of like happened to many of us, right? I know y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. So, yeah, I'm going to have to walk out into the sun. I might have to put my hat on because your girl does not want to get wrinkles. Hold up. So, yeah, if you want to know what your family is and you haven't been for therapy before, which, by the way, I hate to admit it, but you really need therapy. You need an objective opinion about yourself. Here I am. I've been in therapy since I was 28. I'm 42 now. And this is the second thing. You may have gotten to the place where you're like, okay, the golden child. And by the way, the golden child may argue I was abused too. Yeah, the golden child was abused too. All of the families under narcissistic families and this demonic infestation have been abused. But the golden child was the one who the parent cast all these fake ass labels and expectations onto. And yeah, my hair is really cute today. It feels so nice. I don't know how it's going to hold up in this weather. It's probably going to go crazy in a little while, but we'll see. So anyway, you have and then the family told you you're all these bad things. So you probably know okay, I am not all these things my family told you, but did you consider that you probably have a fake image of the golden child in your head too. And I didn't realize that until I made that video about my brother, man. Here I am like saying all these amazing things about him and blah, blah, blah. I even said that, oh, he's like Daniel Mackler. What? And then after I look back and I'm like, just in the same way that, you know, I was 28 and I told the therapist, like, at 28 years old, oh, my mother did the best she could. I was just a bad kid. Crazy, fucked up programming. Here I am telling people like my brother is so much more, like, I'm like, man, my brother is like a psychotherapist who's been in therapy for many years, completely divorced himself from his family, turned his life around, and has been vlogging these super helpful video essays online for the past 14 years and written multiple books on the topic. I mean, okay, you know, I'm not saying anything bad about him, but he is not Daniel Mackler level, okay? I'm not Daniel Mackler level either. So it just goes to show you, like, you will have delusional impressions, like bad impressions of yourself, like on bad or whatever, and you get past those and you're like, great, I'm healed. But no, you probably have some fake ass thoughts about the golden child too that you aren't even aware of. That's the crazy thing. And, you know, you kind of have to let go of trying to, you know, find out the truth about your siblings and stuff. You're probably estranged because that's what the parents do. They weaponize you guys against each other. And I'm going to be honest, like, the level of conditioning it would take to overcome that is just completely... You're going to need therapy, you're going to need hypnosis, you're going to need lots of money, lots of time. You know, it's not for everyone. And I think a lot of times these things come into our path on this journey to teach us more about ourselves. And, you know, the endings in human life are not always the cute little endings that you see in a Disney movie where everybody made up and had a nice life and they went off into the sunset, the end, right? You know, there's some things that get broken that don't get put back together again. And you just move on with it, right? So, anyway, the third thing I'm trying to remember, I feel like the sun just evaporates all care and concern from me, or I'm just like, I'm good, you know? I feel so nice, so lazy. What was the third point? And that's another thing. Like, these same entities can keep you from talking about things, creating, etc., right? Look at every religion in this world. They talk about these entities, these beings. It's in the Bible, it's in the Quran, it's in every faith. You got to be aware of them and be up on your spiritual hygiene. All right, let's walk through the rest. All right. So that's all I can remember for now. I'm probably going to make another video about this in the future. But I also want to say that a lot of women commented on this video. If you were the scapegoat and you had a golden child male in your family, you may be attracting golden child males as partners, and one way to watch out for them is if they complain about trauma. The biggest problem is trauma, or is your reaction to it. It's not the abuse. So a lot of women were saying that they realized this, and I was like, oh my god, I have been in a relationship with male golden children for like many times in my life. And you find that your image of them is like so much higher than the actual reality. You're conditioned to believe this shit. And it reminds me of this Richard Grannon video he talked about where women got involved with narcissists. And they think these grandiose things about the narcissist, and he goes in and tries to like see if they're right. So this one woman was like, my ex, he looked just like Sean Connery. He was just so hot, I couldn't resist him. And Richard Grannon's like, really? He's like, show me some pictures of this Sean Connery guy. And then he had to like try not to laugh. He's like, girl, you're on something. you're on some magical thinking that's making you believe something's there that is not. You are seeing it in a warped way. So yeah, many people got to learn this, man. And my eyes got opened. I hope this helps somebody. It's not the perfect video that I wanted to make. I'm going to put a bunch of comments and the links below. Let me know your stories. Let me know your thoughts. I have got a book launch, guys. You can still pre-order my book. You have until the 27th, okay? And if you pre-order the book, you get a free agenda book, and you also get an invite to the launch party, which is live on Zoom. So yeah, why would you want to miss out on that? It's called The Fall to Clickbait Queen, and it basically talks about like my life back in the day where many of you first found me, what was actually going on behind the scenes. You guys know that I'm not out here for the drama, but now I'm ready to spill. I'm ready to tell you it all, and you know, experiencing what someone else went through at a certain time. It can help you start to picture what this might look like for you in your life. It starts to make it real. I know a lot of you want to become entrepreneurs, you want to work online only, you want to go off and live in the woods in a cabin like I did as well. Go ahead. See what it actually looks and feels like. Have a fun romp with this book. You know, it's so juicy. I lived it and I love rereading it. This is so exciting and crazy and shocking and fun. So more details in the link. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you again.